Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be learning this wondrous Torah. We're learning Petikha lechokhmat Kabbalah. We'll go again over number 27. And here comes out the first partsuf of Adam Kadmon. The first partsuf of the first spiritual realm. So he explains here the process. Because immediately after Tzimtzum Aleph, this means the process, this grandiose process that sets, that receiving in order to receive is not able to experience God. That the fourth aspect becomes constricted from becoming a vessel for the upper light. And she becomes set with a masach. This means she becomes set with the force of stopping, not to make use of the desire to receive for her own self-benefit. Here then it draws forth the light to become clothed in the vessel of Malchut, as its way. Because God always wants to give goodness to the creation. And the Masach, the power of stopping, that's in the vessel of Malchut, stops it. Reflects the light backwards. This is a great work. That even though the created being has a great yearning to experience God, in any event, the created being gives up on this experience. And by the hitting of the light on the Masach that is on this fourth aspect. So for this, the created being receives a reward. What's the reward? The reward is called returning light, meaning pleasure in giving. The reward is having love for God. Raises up returning light to the level of Keter in the upper light. This means the desire to give of the created being attains an experience of God to the level of Yechida, the level of Keter. Why? Because the revelation of the light is according to the work. And since here we're speaking about the greatest possible work, the greatest Masach, the greatest returning light, the greatest love of God, so therefore God becomes revealed to the highest level. And the same returning light, the same returning light closed the 10 sfirot of the upper light, that are called the 10 sfirot of the head, of this first partsuf, of the first spiritual world or spiritual realm, called Adam Kadmon. What is the head? It's planning. The created being plans how much of the light of Yechida it's able to receive to be pleasing to God, and how much of the light, if it receives, will be for its own self-benefit. And after this, the Malchut expands with the returning light, with the power of giving, with the power of the 10 sfirot of the head, from herself, the Malchut, and below. She expands to a state of putting into action what was determined in the head. Putting into action is called body. She expands and draws forth with the returning light to receive in actuality in order to give, with the power of the 10 sfirot of the head, from herself and onwards. Within her, it draws forth the new 10 sfirot below, from the creator to the created being. And then the vessels become completed in the aspect of the body. And the whole measure that came out from the 10 sfirot of the head are clothed also in the 10 sfirot of the body. And with this it becomes finished the first partsuf of Adam Kadmon, head and body. And this is called the partsuf of the Galgalta of Ak, the Galgalta of Adam Kadmon. Therefore, what are the characteristics we see in drawing number 10? In terms of direct light, in terms of its nature, it's keter, the aspect of the source, the most refined nature that there is. And from the side of work, which is the returning light, it's working on the greatest desire to receive that there is, meaning on the malchut, the fourth aspect of coarseness. Therefore, it comes to the light of Yechida. Are there questions? If there's questions, don't wait. Write them right away. And after this, number 28, it returns the same zivug da'aka'ah on the masach that's set in the vessel of malchut, that has only the coarseness now of the third aspect. So this is already the second partsuf, that is called the partsuf ab, ayin bet. So this partsuf is already less refined than Galgalta. Therefore it takes for its work material that's less coarse than Galgalta. This is coarseness only of Bechinat Gimel, the third aspect. And then there comes out the partsuf of Chochma, head and body, meaning in potential and in action. Because the masach is now missing the coarseness of the fourth aspect, meaning it's not able to make a masach on the coarseness of the fourth aspect. So now there's only 4 vessels, Keter, Chochma, Bina, and Tiferet. Meaning only on these it's able to deflect. On these types of coarseness. Keter, Chochma, Bina, and Tiferet. The aspects of source, 1, 2, and 3. But on the fourth aspect, it's not able to. And therefore, there's only a place for the returning light to clothe 4 aspects only. That are chaya, neshama, ruach, and nefesh. And it's missing the light of Yechida. And this partsuf is called the partsuf of Av of Ak. Av of Adam Kadmon. We explained what it's Av of Ak. It's the Shem Havaya, the 4 letters of Hashem's name that are expanded in the expansion of Yuds, which comes to the number of 72. This is the second partsuf. Its nature is the characteristic of Chochma, which is the first aspect, and its material of work is the third aspect, Tiferet, Zeranpi. And afterwards the third partsuf. It returns the same zivug da'aka'ah on the masach in the vessel of malchut, that has only the oviut, the coarseness of the second aspect. It's no longer able to make a masach on Daled or on Gimel, on 4 or on 3. And it comes out 10 sfirot in head and body. Bina, neshama. The level of Bina, neshama. And this is the partsuf of Sag, of Ak. What is this number 63? It's also the 4 letters of Hashem's name, Yud and He and Vav and He, with the expansion of Yuds. But there's a difference in the way we write out the letter Vav. In the Vav of Ab, it was written out Vav Yud Vav. But the Vav of Sag is written out Vav Aleph Vav. So it's missing 9. 72 minus 9 is 63. What does this mean? We'll learn about this later. So it's missing the 2 vessels of Zer Anpin and Malchut. Meaning on them it's not able to do work. And the 2 lights of Chaya and Yechida are missing because the 2 vessels are missing. And afterwards it comes out as Zivug Daka'ah on an ovute that's only Bechinat Aleph, first aspect. This is already partsuf of Ma. In the side of its characteristic, it's the coarseness of Bechinat Gimel, the 3rd aspect. Tiferet and Zer Anpin. Now, on what is it able to make a Zivug Daka'ah? On the characteristic of Chochma, where the coarseness is very small. The first aspect of courseness. And then comes out 10 sfirot of head and body of Tiferet, meaning the level of Ruach. And it's missing the vessels of Bina, Zer Anpin, and Malchut, meaning Bechinat Bet of Oviyut, Bechinat Gimel, and Bechinat Daled, the levels of 2, 3, and 4 of coarseness. That on them it's not able to make any work. So it's missing the 3 lights of Neshama, Chaya, and Yechida, and has only Nefesh and Ruach of lights that are clothed in Keter and Chochma of vessels. And this is called the partsuf of Ma and Ban of Adam Kadmon. Remember this opposite relationship between vessels and light. Why does he put the Man and the Ban together? Meaning the 4th and 5th levels he combines. Why doesn't he divide them? The answer is because Ban is the aspect of Malchut, it's the source level of coarseness, and it's not able to make a masach on anything except the refined level of Keter. So there's places where he says there isn't even a Zivug Daka'ah. Doesn't have the power to deflect the light. So therefore the light in the Malchut is called Nefesh. Like it says on the 7th day, God rested. Meaning made no action. Because there's no action. There's no Zivug Daka'ah. Therefore, the Baal Shalom isn't putting Ban as a stage in and of itself, but is combining it together with Ma. So we see here in drawing number 10 the inverse relationship there is in every single partsuf between the nature of the partsuf and the fixing of the partsuf's nature, between its characteristic and between its work. We'll look at drawing number 11. Also here we see the partsufim of Adam Kadmon. 5 partsufim, Galgalta, Av, Sag, Ma, and Ban.
בבקשה לפתוח שרטוט מספר 1.
Please open drawing number
למי
11.
שאין יכול לקבל את זה, תיקייה נמצאת בתחתית הדף.
If you don't have the drawing, you can download it from the link here.
אז מה אנחנו רואים פה? מה השרטוט הזה מוסיף לנו?
So what do we see here? What does this drawing add for us?
הוא מראה לנו שכל פרצוף הוא נמוך יותר מהפרצוף.
Shows us that every partsuf is lower than the previous partsuf.
מה הסיבה? תרשמו.
What's the reason? Write this.
ותרשמו. בגולגלתא
Galgalta,
יש אור היחידה, אור
it
הכתר.
has the light of Yechida, the light of Keter,
זה האור הכי גבוה.
the highest light.
באב
In Av,
יש רק אור החיה.
it has only the light of
זה אור
Chaya,
יותר נמוך.
a lower light.
בסג רק נשמה.
In Sag, only Neshama.
במה רק רוח.
In Ma, only the light of
בבן
Ruach,
רק נפש.
and in Ban, only Nefesh.
מכיוון שבכל אחד יש אור יותר נמוך מהקודם,
And since each one has a light that's lower than the previous one,
לכן השרטוט הזה מראה שכל אחד קומתו יותר קטנה.
therefore this drawing shows that everyone's level is lower.
מה הסיבה? זה למדנו.
What's the reason? We learned.
אב לא יכול לעשות את העבודה הגדולה הזאת.
Ab can't do this great work
גולגלתא.
that Galgalta could
ממילא הוא
do.
משיג אור יותר.
So it attains a lower light.
למה הוא לא יכול לעשות?
Why can't it do this big work?
כי הוא יותר עבה.
Because it's more
מכיוון
coarse.
שהוא יותר עבה, הוא לא יכול לעשות את העבודה הגדולה.
And because it's more coarse, it's not able to do this big work
שגולגלתא.
that Galgalta could do.
לכן זה הולך
And that's how it goes down.
נסתכל גם בשרטוט מספר 12.
Let's look also at drawing number 12.
שרטוט מספר 12, גם אנחנו רואים
Drawing 12, we also
את
see
חמשת הפרצופים
the 5 parts
של
of
עולם
fame
אדם כמון.
of the realm of Adam Kadmon.
בצד הימני,
On the right side,
גולגלתא,
we have
קומת
Galgalta,
כתר.
the level of Keter.
כמה אורות יש לו?
How many lights does it
5.
have? 5.
כמה כלים יש לו?
How many
5.
vessels? 5.
בחינה ד' כתוב פה למטה.
The fourth
אופיות
aspect,
בבחינה
it says
ד'.
below. The coarseness of Bechina Dalad, the fourth aspect.
אם הוא יכול להתגבר על אופיות בבחינה ד',
If it's able to overcome the fourth aspect of Oviyut,
שזה מלכות,
of coarseness, which is
אז
Malchut,
בוודאי שהוא יכול להתגבר על זה
then of
רמפין,
course it's able to overcome Zeranpin,
בינה,
Bina,
חוכמה ועל כתר.
Chochma, and Keter.
לכן נחשב שיש לו 5 כלים
Therefore, it's considered that it has 5 vessels
ו5 אורות.
and 5 lights.
כי תמיד חכמים אומרים בכלל 200 מנה. אם יש לך 200 שקל, אז יש בתוכם כבר גם 100 שקל.
Because the sages say that if you have 200 shekels, then of course you have 100 shekels.
אז אם יש לי יחידה, יש לי גם חיה נשמה.
So if we have Yechida, of course we have Chaya, Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh.
אם אני יכול להתגבר על בחינה,
If I can overcome the fourth aspect,
יכול להתגבר גם על ג' ב'
I
הראשון.
can also overcome the third, second, and first
זה גולגל.
aspect. That's Galgal.
פרצוף אב
Partsuf Av
כבר לא יכול להתגבר על
is already not able to overcome the Malchut.
אז יש לו רק 4 אורות
So it has only 4
כלים.
lights.
כלי אחד חסר.
One vessel is missing.
אז הוא מראה
Shows
שהמסך שהיה מקודם הכי למטה,
that the Masach that was previously all the way below,
על הבחינה ד' דוביות, עכשיו
on the
המסך
fourth aspect of coarseness,
עולה לבחינה ג'.
now goes up to the
למה
third
הוא עולה?
aspect
כי
of
הבחינה
coarseness.
ג'
Why does it
יותר
go up?
זכה.
Because the third aspect is more refined.
פרצוף סג יש לו רק 3 אורות, 3 כלים,
Partsuf Saga is only 3 lights and 3 vessels,
כי הוא כבר לא יכול להתגבר לא על ג' לא על ד'.
because it's not able anymore to overcome on Gimel and Dalet, on 3 and 4.
לכן המסך עולה יותר למעלה,
Therefore the
כי הוא
Masach
מתעסק עם אוביות יותר זכה.
ascends higher to deal with a lesser coarseness.
פרצוף מה יש לו רק 2 אורות,
Partsuf Ma has only 2 vessels and 2 lights.
כבר לא יכול להתגבר לא על בינה, על זרע,
It's not able to overcome on Bina, Zeranpin, and Malchut.
רק על בחינה.
Only on the Bechinat
אז
Aleph,
יש לו כבר
the
רק
first
קומת
aspect it can
רוח.
overcome,
פרצוף בן,
פרצוף
שהוא קומת
בן.
מלכות,
which is the Partsuf of
יש לו
Malchut,
אור אחד.
has 1 vessel and 1 light.
אז המסך אצלו נמצא הכי למעלה.
So its Masach is the most above,
זה בא להראות
showing
שהוא
us
יכול להתמודד רק עם האוביות הזאת.
it's only able to deal with the most refined coarseness.
אז שימו לב,
So pay attention.
ציור 11 ו-12
Drawings 11 and 12
הם למעשה מראים את אותו דבר
are showing the same thing
משתי זוויות הפכות.
from 2 opposite perspectives.
ציור 11 מראה
Drawing 11
את אותו דבר,
showing the same thing,
אבל בסדר יורד.
but in a way that's going down.
כל אחד יותר נמוך מהקודם.
Each one is lower than the one before.
מדוע? כי
Why?
מסתכלים.
If we see,
יכולת העבודה
the
שלו
ability of the
היא
work
הולכת ויורדת.
is becoming less.
שרטוט 12
Drawing
מראה את אותו
12
דבר,
is showing the same
אבל
thing,
בסדר עולה.
but in a progression that's ascending. Why?
שרטוט 12 מתמקד
Because drawing 12 is focusing
במסך שבכל פעם
on the masach that each time
נמצא בכלי יותר זך.
is found in a vessel that's more refined.
אז הוא עולה.
So it goes up.
העלייה הזאת היא לגריותה, היא לא למעלה.
This is going up is because it's become less, not because it's become more.
אבל שתי צורות הסתכלות נמצאות בארי הקדוש.
But these are two ways of looking that we find in the Ari HaKadosh.
אז מה למדנו כאן?
So what do we learn here?
למדנו את 5 צופים שיש בעולם
We're
הראשון.
learning of the 5 parts of theme that there are in the first spiritual world, the spiritual realm
עולם אדם קדמון.
of Adam
אותו
Kadmon.
דבר יש גם בעולם האצילות.
We also have this in the realm of Atzilut,
מישה פרצות כאלה.
parts of theme
אותו
like these,
דבר בעולם הבריאה,
and also in
בעולם
the realm of
היצירה,
Bria and
בעולם
Yetzirah
העשייה.
and the Nasiya.
כל 5 העולם
All 5 of the
עשויים באותה
realms
התבנית.
have the same structure.
אז מה ההבדל ביניהם?
So what's the difference between them?
בתכונה.
In their
עולם אדם
characteristics.
קדמון נחשב כולו
The realm of Adam Kadmon
בתכונת הכתר.
is considered completely the realm of Keter.
עולם האצילות
The realm
נחשב
of Atzilut is considered the characteristic of
הדרך הזה,
Chokhmah,
עד עולם
and so
העשייה,
on, to the realm of
שהוא
Asiyah,
נחשב לתכולכות.
which is considered the characteristic of Malchut.
זאת אומרת, 5 הצופים
This means the 5 parts of Sufim
שיש בעולם העשייה,
that we have in the realm of
הם כולם
Asiyah,
נמצאים בתוך.
they're all found within the characteristic of Malchut.
האם יש שאלות?
Are there
אם לא ברור
questions?
משהו,
If something's not
אז לשאול
clear,
מיד על
so ask
המקום,
immediately
כפי שנברר את
so we
הדברים,
can clarify.
יצאו עירים.
So it will come out clear and
אז באופן כללי,
in a general way.
כך מסודרת חוכמה.
This is how the wisdom of Kabbalah is structured.
זה האפיון כללי של א', שהכל מתחיש.
This is the general structure that everything divides to 5.
ב', בכל דבר יש אור כלי.
Second of all, in everything there's light and vessel.
ג',
Third of all,
את הכלי אני מחלק לשתיים.
the vessel I divide to 2.
הכלי הטבעי
The natural
התכונה
vessel
הטבעית,
with its natural characteristic
וחומר.
and the material of the work.
עם מה?
With what am I going to work now?
לכן אנחנו מקבלים כאן, בכל מקום שחתוך,
So we receive her in every place that we look at it.
תמיד יש חידות.
There's always 5 parts,
בכלל, בפרט,
in general, in the
בפרטי.
particular, in the particular
גם
of the
אם נחתוך את
particulars.
הדברים ל1,000 חתיכות,
Also, if we cut it into 1,000 pieces,
אז ברובד ה1,000
in the 1,000th
נמצא
piece,
אותו דבר.
we'll find the same thing.
5 יחידות
5 parts
שהן בנויות מכתר
that are built from
עד
Keter
מלכות,
to Malchut,
והעבודה בהם נעשית כמו בסרטוט מספר 10.
and the work is done like in drawing number 10.
הכל באותה תבנית.
It's all the same structure.